Hi, my name is Pat, and this is my channel, Book Chat with Pat, and I'm glad that you're here. Today is Poetry Thursday, and I'm devoting this episode to some poetry of spring, because this is a time of year that often fills me with a sense of renewed hope. The Earth's renewal always reminds me that we do have a resilience inside of us that we may not have imagined. I'm going to share several different poems by a variety of modern poets. I'm going to start with A Blessing by James Wright. Just off the highway to Rochester, Minnesota, twilight bounds softly forth on the grass. And the eyes of those two Indian ponies darken with kindness. They have come gladly out of the willows to welcome my friend and me. We step over the barbed wire into the pasture where they have been grazing all day alone. They ripple tensely. They can hardly contain their happiness that we have come. They bow shyly as wet swans. They love each other. There is no loneliness like theirs. At home once more, they begin munching the young tufts of spring in the darkness. I would like to hold the slenderer one in my arms, for she has walked over to me and nuzzled my left hand. She is black and white. Her mane falls wild on her forehead, and the light breeze moves me to caress her long ear that is delicate as the skin over a girl's wrist. Suddenly, I realize that if I stepped out of my body, I would break into blossom. Next, I'd like to read one of my favorite Billy Collins poems. This is a poem entitled Today, and this is a poem that I used to love to teach. There would always be a day in teaching when the weather would suddenly change. It would be a beautiful spring day, sometimes the first really warm spring day, and kids would invariably come running into class and immediately start begging, please, 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 can't we have class outside? And that would be the day that I would bring out Today by Billy Collins. If ever there were a spring day so perfect, so uplifted by a warm, intermittent breeze, that it made you want to throw open all the windows in the house and unlatch the door to the canary's cage, indeed, rip the little door from its jamb, a day when the cool brick paths in the garden bursting with peonies seemed so etched in sunlight that you felt like taking a hammer to the glass paperweight on the living room end table, releasing the inhabitants from their snow-covered cottage so they could walk out holding hands and squinting into this larger dome of blue and white. Well, today is just that kind of day. Next, I'd like to read North Country by Mary Oliver. In the North Country now it is spring, and there is a certain celebration. The thrush has come home. It is okay to know only one song, if it is this one. Hear it rise and fall. The very elements of your soul shiver nicely. What would spring be without it? Mostly frogs. But don't worry. He arrives year after year, humble and obedient and gorgeous. You listen and you know you could live a better life than you do. Be softer, kinder, and maybe this year you will be able to do it. Hear how his voice rises and falls. There is no way to be sufficiently grateful for the gifts we are given. No way to speak the Lord's name often enough, though we do try, and especially now as the dappled breast breathes in the pines and heaven's windows in the North Country, now spring has come, are opened wide. Next, I would like to read Let There Be New Flowering by Lucille Clifton. And she said that this was her favorite poem that she had written. Let There Be New Flowering by Lucille Clifton. Let there be new flowering in the fields. Let the fields turn mellow for the men. Let the men keep tender through the time. Let the time be rested from the war. Let the war be won. Let love be at the end. Variation on a Theme by W.S. Merwin. Thank you, my lifelong afternoon, late in this spring that has no age, my window above the river, for the woman you led me to when it was time, at last, the words coming to me out of mid-air that carried me through the clear day, and come even now to find me for old friends and echoes of them. Those mistakes only I could make, homesickness that guides the plovers from somewhere they had loved before. They knew they loved it, to somewhere they had loved before they saw it. Thank you, good body, hand and eye, and the places and moments known only to me, revisiting once more, complete just as they are, and the morning stars I have seen, and the dogs who are guiding me. And finally, Instructions on Not Giving Up by Ada Limon. More than the fuchsia funnels breaking out of the crabapple tree, more than the neighbor's almost obscene display of cherry limbs shoving their cotton candy-colored blossoms to the slate sky of spring rains. It's the greening of the trees that really gets to me. When all the shock of white and taffy, the world's baubles and trinkets, leave the pavement strewn with the confetti of aftermath, the leaves come, patient, plodding, a green skin growing over whatever winter did to us. A return to the strange idea of continuous living despite the mess of us, the hurt, the empty. Fine, then, I'll take it, the trees seem to say, a new slick leaf unfurling like a fist to an open palm. I'll take it all. So that's some poetry of spring. As always, I thank you for watching. I hope that you're doing well. I'll speak with you again soon. Take care.